Have you ever felt like you're always the one giving, but never receiving the same level of care or attention in return? Or maybe you've gone above and beyond for someone, whether it's a friend, family member, or partner, but somehow they just don't seem to prioritize you the way you deserve. It's frustrating, isn't it? You're putting in all this effort, but somehow you're still left feeling unnoticed or unimportant. As the famous quote by Maya Angelou says, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." So the question is, how are you making others feel? Are you making them feel like a priority, or are you constantly putting yourself at the bottom of their list? What if I told you that you can change that, and you don't have to wait around for others to start valuing you? Imagine if you could become a priority in someone else's life without feeling like you're constantly chasing after their attention. In today's video, I'm going to show you 10 powerful psychological strategies that will shift the dynamic and help you become someone others can't afford to ignore. Ready to stop feeling overlooked and start feeling truly valued? Let's dive in. Rules 1. Create the fear of losing you. Have you ever found yourself constantly giving to someone, always being there for them, but still feeling like they don't truly appreciate you? It's a frustrating situation, especially when you're putting in so much effort, yet they seem to take your presence for granted. As the famous quote goes, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're always giving without taking care of yourself or creating space, you might find yourself drained and unappreciated. The problem often lies in being too available. When you're always around, always showing up, it's easy for people to stop valuing you the way you deserve. They start to think that you'll always be there no matter what, and they don't feel the need to make you a priority. As the saying goes, you don't know what you have until it's gone. This idea rings especially true in relationships. When people don't fear losing you, they often don't realize your true worth. It's only when you create a little distance that they begin to see how much you mean to them. To apply this lesson, it's important to start pulling back just a bit. You don't need to completely withdraw, but creating some emotional and physical space will make them realize what they're missing. If you're constantly available, you risk being taken for granted. Instead, make your time valuable by not always being at their beck and call. It's also crucial to find the right balance. If you create too much distance, you might push them away. But if you do it right, they'll start to miss you and appreciate your presence more. By making them fear losing you, you'll shift the dynamic and begin to feel valued as a priority in their life. Rules 2. Avoid being always available. Have you ever noticed how the more you make yourself available to someone, the more they seem to take you for granted? It's like when you're always there, ready to help or drop everything to be by their side, they start to expect it. It's as if your time becomes less valuable because you're always around. This is a common problem when we overextend ourselves in relationships, whether it's with friends, family, or even a partner. As the saying goes, familiarity breeds contempt. When you're always available, people stop seeing your presence as special. It becomes routine, and they start to assume that you'll always be there no matter what. The more you give, the less they appreciate what you bring to the table. To avoid this, you need to set boundaries and prioritize your own life. Stop being the one who is always at everyone's disposal. Don't feel guilty for not being available 24/7. In fact, the more you create some distance, the more valuable your presence becomes. People begin to realize that your time is limited, and they'll have to work harder to earn it. This doesn't mean you should be unavailable or cold. Just make sure that you have a life outside of others' needs. The balance you create by not always being accessible will make people appreciate you more and eventually place you as a higher priority in their lives. Rules 3. Maintain some mystery. Have you ever noticed how people tend to be more intrigued by someone who doesn't share everything about themselves right away? It's like the more you reveal, the less interesting you become. If you're always open and share everything in your life, your presence can start to feel predictable. In relationships, whether personal or professional, mystery can be a powerful tool to keep others interested and invested in you. As the saying goes, the most interesting people are often the ones with the most to hide. When you keep a bit of mystery, you leave room for curiosity. People are drawn to the unknown, and when they feel they don't know everything about you, it makes them want to get closer and learn more. This creates a sense of excitement and anticipation, making you stand out as someone worth prioritizing. To apply this lesson, you don't need to be secretive, but rather hold back a little. Instead of sharing all your thoughts and feelings, give hints about your interests, passions, and past, but don't reveal everything at once. Let them ask questions and leave some things for them to discover over time. By doing this, you'll keep them intrigued and invested, wanting to know more and seeing you as someone that can't easily figure out. This sense of mystery will make you more attractive and help you maintain a sense of importance in their life. Rules 4. Allow them to invest in you. Have you ever noticed that when someone puts time or effort into something, they're more likely to value it? The same principle applies to relationships. When you allow someone to invest in you, whether through time, energy, or emotions, they begin to see you as more important in their life. The problem is, if you're always the one giving and never allowing them to invest in you, they may take you for granted or never see the need to prioritize you. As the saying goes, people don't value what they don't have to work for. When everything comes too easily, people don't appreciate it as much. But when they have to put effort into maintaining a connection with you, it makes you more valuable in their eyes. To use this lesson, give people the opportunity to invest in you. Don't always be the one reaching out or making plans. Let them make the effort to connect with you. For example, if someone invites you to an event, but you know you won't be able to go, let them know you're interested, but make them wait or work a little harder to spend time with you. It sends the message that your time and attention are valuable. This approach makes people see you as a challenge, someone worth prioritizing. By allowing others to invest in you, you increase your worth and make them more likely to make you a priority. Rules 5. Prioritize your own needs. Have you ever found yourself constantly putting others' needs before your own, only to feel unappreciated or drained in the end? It's easy to fall into the habit of neglecting yourself in favor of making others happy, but this often leads to frustration and resentment. If you're always putting others first and never considering your own well-being, they may not see you as a priority either. As the saying goes, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're not taking care of yourself, you won't have the energy to be there for others in a meaningful way. By prioritizing your own needs, you're not being selfish. You're ensuring that you're in a good place mentally and emotionally, which allows you to show up as the best version of yourself in your relationships. To put this into practice, start by setting boundaries and recognizing when you're overcommitting. Take time for yourself, whether it's a hobby you enjoy, time to relax, or even just saying no when you're stretched too thin. Make sure that you're not always the one giving while neglecting your own needs. When people see that you value yourself, they'll begin to do the same. Prioritizing yourself doesn't mean you don't care about others. It simply means you respect your own time and energy. This will make you more confident and help others see your worth, which will increase the chances of them making you a priority in their lives as well. Rules 6. Don't make them the center of your life. Have you ever noticed that when you become too focused on someone else, whether it's a partner, a friend, or a family member, you start to lose sight of your own goals and desires? When you make someone the center of your life, you risk losing your own identity and becoming overly dependent on their attention and approval. This can lead to frustration, as they may start to feel overwhelmed, and you may end up feeling neglected or unappreciated. As the saying goes, the more you chase something, the more it runs away, When you put all your energy into someone else, it can make you appear desperate for their attention. This often leads to them pulling away because they can sense that you're not maintaining your own life and independence. It's important to create a balance where you still have your own goals, hobbies, and interests outside of the relationship. To apply this lesson, make sure you have your own life outside of the relationship. Focus on your personal growth, hobbies, career, and friendships. When you are fully invested in your own journey, you stop relying on someone else to validate your worth. This shift in focus will make you more attractive, as people tend to be drawn to those who have their own purpose and direction. When you're not constantly chasing after someone else's approval, they'll start to see you as someone worth investing in, and they'll value you more in their own life. Rule 7. Stop initiating communication all the time. Have you ever found yourself always reaching out first? Whether it's sending the first message, making the first call, or organizing the next meetup? While it's great to show interest in others, constantly being the one to initiate communication can lead to one-sided relationships. When you're always the one making the effort, it can make the other person take you for granted, and over time, you may feel like you're putting in more than you're getting back. As the saying goes, if you don't make time for the people you care about, they won't make time for you. When you're always the one reaching out, you might be missing an opportunity to see how much effort the other person is willing to put in. True connections are built on mutual effort, and if you're always the one to start things, it's hard to know if the other person truly values you. To put this into practice, start by letting them make the first move. If they don't reach out, don't feel obligated to always be the one to do it. Give them the chance to show you that they care, and let them take the initiative from time to time. If someone truly values your presence, they will make the effort to connect with you. By stopping the constant initiation, you're allowing the relationship to feel more balanced and less one-sided. This shift will also give you the space to focus on other important aspects of your life, while still giving the other person the opportunity to show that they prioritize you. Rules 8. Create your own happiness. Have you ever found yourself depending on someone else for your happiness, whether it's a partner, a friend, or even a family member? While it's great to have people who make us happy, relying on others to fulfill your emotional needs can lead to disappointment. People can't always be there for us, and if we base our happiness solely on their actions or attention, we're setting ourselves up for frustration. As the saying goes, happiness is an inside job. No one can make you truly happy unless you're happy with yourself first. If you rely on someone else for your happiness, you may find yourself feeling unfulfilled or constantly disappointed. When you create your own happiness, you take control of your emotions and become less dependent on others for validation. This makes you more self-assured and attractive to others, as people are drawn to those who are content and confident on their own. To apply this lesson, take the time to focus on yourself. Engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, whether it's pursuing a hobby, spending time with yourself, or working towards your personal goals. When you make happiness your responsibility, you stop putting pressure on others to make you feel good. This not only strengthens your self-worth, but it also frees others from the burden of trying to make you happy. When people see that you're happy and fulfilled on your own, they'll be more likely to value your presence in their lives, making you a priority rather than an afterthought. Rules 9. Show confidence in your decisions. Have you ever second-guessed yourself or felt unsure about the decisions you make, especially when it comes to your relationships or career? When we doubt ourselves, others can pick up on that uncertainty, and it can cause them to question your value or importance. If you're not confident in your decisions, it sends a message that you may not be sure of your worth or direction. This can result in others not seeing you as a priority. As the saying goes, the most attractive thing you can be is confident. Confidence doesn't mean you always have to be right or perfect. It means you trust yourself and stand by your choices, even if others don't always agree. People respect those who are confident in their decisions, as it shows they are grounded and clear about what they want. When you make decisions with certainty, you project strength and stability, which naturally draws others to you. To apply this lesson, practice owning your decisions, big or small. Whether you're making choices about your career, relationships, or daily life, show that you trust your own judgment. If you make a mistake, own up to it and learn from it. Don't let it shake your confidence. When you show others that you're confident in your actions, they will start to take you more seriously and view you as someone they want to prioritize. Confidence creates respect and admiration, which makes you more likely to be seen as a valuable and important person in their lives. Rules 10. Recognizing your worth. Have you ever felt like you're not getting the respect or attention you deserve from others, even though you're giving so much of yourself? It's easy to undervalue ourselves, especially when we're constantly trying to make others happy. But if you don't recognize your own worth, how can you expect others to see it? If you're always putting others first and neglecting to honor your own needs, you may find yourself overlooked and underappreciated. As the saying goes, you teach people how to treat you. If you don't recognize your own value, others will follow suit and treat you with less respect. When you acknowledge your worth, you send a clear message to others that you value yourself and expect the same in return. It's about knowing what you bring to the table and not settling for anything less than what you deserve. To apply this lesson, take time to reflect on your strengths and the value you offer to others. This could be in your relationships, your work, or simply the kindness and support you provide to those around you. Don't wait for others to validate your worth. Start by recognizing it yourself. Once you understand your own value, you'll naturally demand better treatment from others, and they will begin to prioritize you more. Recognizing your worth is key to creating healthy, balanced relationships where you are respected and valued. When you show up for yourself, others will start to follow your lead. As we wrap up today's lesson, remember this: you have the power to set the standard in your relationships. By valuing yourself and applying these strategies, you'll start to see real change. Prioritize your needs, set boundaries, and always recognize your own worth. The more you do this, the more others will follow your lead and treat you as the priority you deserve to be. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more valuable content. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share your experiences. Keep applying these lessons and watch as your relationships grow stronger and more balanced.